Hello, welcome to another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Chris Costa.
And I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
So Joanne, what do you think we should cover tonight?
I thought we could talk about recording a journal entry into a prior year.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I guess a couple things on that topic first. Really, the general ledger is the only module that's going to allow posting anything back to the prior year.
Okay.
If you miss an invoice, an AR or AP, or any cash book entry, you're not going to be able to go back to the prior year. So everything we'll talk about today is only going to relate to a general ledger journal adjustment.
Okay, great. Can we take a look at doing that and what's
Sure.
involved?
Absolutely. Okay, so I'll open up the general ledger here. And obviously we're going to go to the journal entry. Now I have one actually already started here. And you can see I've got the batch date set 12/31. So normally what happens, you'll do your initial close somewhere after the first month of the close of the year. 3 or 4 months later, someone may want adjusting entries.
Okay.
As long as it's somewhere within that first year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It can be any time within that first year.
Okay.
You can go back 1 year. You can't go back 2 years, but you
okay.
can go back 1 year.
All right.
Okay. So we're sitting here in October, or actually November 2nd. I can still make an entry dated all the way back to 12/31. Obviously, the transactions would date the same way.
Okay.
One thing to point out before we actually post this, I'm affecting one account that's going to be on the balance sheet, one account that's on the income statement or the P&L.
Okay.
Obviously, when you post this, you're also going to want it to carry forward and update your beginning balances for the current year.
Right. Okay.
Now, it's also obvious that your income P&L account would not have rolled forward in the first place, so it won't carry forward. Only the balance sheet account will carry forward.
Okay.
So when we update the accounts for the current year, retained earnings will actually be updated as part of the entry for the current year.
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and post this. Okay. Actually, one thing before I hit the post button, before you even save the batch up here. Now I've already got this date at 12/31. You would have seen an alert message warning you that you were posting it back to the previous year.
Okay.
So
when you create the batch you're talking
right.
about? Okay.
When you actually save the batch, you would get that additional alert. You won't get it again here. But,
Okay.
Okay. This one's just going to be, are you sure you want to post the batch? Yes. You'll get the normal warning that you're posting back to a previous period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And then it will post. Okay. And that's
All right.
so that process there is not going to change. You're just creating a normal journal entry. It's really just the date that's controlling the entry.
Okay.
Date it back to the previous, normally the last day of the previous year.
Sounds good. All right.
Okay.
Now, can we take a look at, did it create a batch for updating the opening balances of the next year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is going to be a step 2, and that is as soon as we posted that first batch, you probably noticed this entry automatically created right after, and it's to update your opening balance for the current year. And notice it's going to update it for period 1 of your current year.
Okay.
Even if you're 6 months into the new year, it'll still update it for the beginning of the current year.
Okay.
Okay. Notice it did bring the balance sheet account forward just as we had in the previous entry. And as I mentioned, the account that we had on the P&L side didn't come forward, so we updated directly to retained earnings. Okay, so that'll be the entry that will get posted for the new year.
All right, sounds good.
And then that would just get posted as normal, which would update the start of the new year.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
Very easy.
it actually is pretty simple. Okay, any other questions?
No, that was great. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, this was another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Chris Costa.
And I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
Please look forward for more to come.